Alright folks, so I wanted to apologize for the previous video having that big ass watermark dead center in the screen. You didn't really miss much. I basically showed you how to get this on your screen and a page called landing in CodeIgniter. So we haven't really done anything yet, but I do want to apologize. That was not too keen a look. But it's alright, I figured it out. Now it's all the way down there, or it should be anyway. So let's continue where we left off. As you see, we have font, we have typing, and it looks pretty good. So we're just going to eliminate that. So we're making a landing page, and the landing page is the first thing that new viewers or subscribers that are not logged into your site, it's the first page they're going to see. So you want to kind of impress them. You want to make them go, wow, look at this. I want to log in or sign up with this one. And if you look at bloggers, which we're kind of basing this off of, but not really, it's got several different levels and it's got all these transitions and everything. I'm not going to really go into that per se, but we're going to make a landing page that's kind of similar. So the first thing that I would want to do, and you can do it any way you want, but the first thing is we want to get some wallpapers. We want to get wallpapers that are going to transition from one another in a smooth manner. This is JavaScript and CSS. So what I usually do, as you've seen before in the first video in the introduction, I like to get video game women that I'm in love with and wish were real. So you can do whatever you want, it's up to you, but I always get pictures of video game women, so if you're not offended by women, then we're okay. If you are, well, you might be a little offended here. So the first thing I'm going to do is go fire. As you can see, I've looked this up before. And you want to get something that's the size of your screen. Since my screen is full 1080, I need 1920 by 1080 for it to fit. Now you can fit it completely with some CSS, but let's just make it a little bit so like this. This is nice, but that's too small. So let's go with something a little too big. Let's go with something like this. Where was the one that I had? Well, this was the original one that I had, and that's fine. We'll do that again. So we're going to save image as. Oh, there she is. Let's save image as, and we want to go to the XAMPP, htdocs, we're doing FACR, and we're going public, images, landing. And we'll just call it Camilla. Okay. Next one is going to be my other Bayonetta. Yeah, there we go. If you don't play video games and you don't know who these women are, I suggest you just follow along. This one looks pretty good. No, too small. I'll go with the one that I had before. That one. There we go. Got it. And we'll go, just call it Bayonetta. Now we have two. After that, of course, is you got to go with the superstars, folks. You got to go with the classics, baby. I'll go with this one. This one we've had before. Now, this might be copywritten, so if it is, well, then I'm screwed. All right, so you want to make sure you don't get copywritten material. I mean, it would be pretty much, it would tell you that it's copywritten or whatever. And then we're going to do the Samus, of course. We're going to have Samus Aran. Samus Aran. I know one that I had before. We'll go with I mean, as much as I would love a lot of these, we'll go with the one that I had, well, this one I had previously. There we go. Just do that. Well, I don't want to waste too much time doing this. And let's go with another one. Let's go with one I haven't used previously. Pyra, there we are. That's not bad. We'll use that. Alrighty, so Pyra, and there we go. So now we have our pictures. So we're going to cycle through those pictures, like I said, through transitions. So now that we have nothing on here, again, we're not really going to go into a deep tutorial. Like, we're not going to go into an HTML, CSS tutorial, but I hope you downloaded Visual Studio, and I hope you got all the extensions and everything like that, because right now I'm going to kind of shorthand everything. So it's really not that big a deal. If you have Visual Studio and you have all the extensions, HTML, CSS, and everything, there's a little thing called divs. And divs are default with this, so we'll go landing header. And that's going to be the top part that goes across the entire screen. And then we're going to have another one called landing right. No, landing left. Sorry, I always screw that up. And then another one called landing right. And the reason why we're using divs is because divs are kind of a little bit more of a modern take almost. And with that, you can do some tricks with CSS that make your life a lot easier. Okay, so then we have that. Then we're going to have the landing. Yeah, that's fine. No, hold on. We're going to have we're going to do an unordered list landing logo. And that's going to be our logo. And then we're going to do li dot landing f. And we're going to give another one called logo. Remember that logo that we made in the main CSS, which I'm going to change, by the way. I'm going to have to do something with that. So we're going to put an F there. And then the other, oh yeah, and we have to put an anchor tag. My fault. Anchor tags are target tags. They kind of take you to different locations, different pages, whatever, or they could just be for JavaScript references. If this, we're just going to go back to this place. That's all we're going to do with that, with this anchor tag. And let's go like that. Now, typically what you would do for the logo is you would just download or create your own logo and then use that. But I'm going to put it in the old-fashioned way. Landing Facker. And we're going to make that an H tag as well. And it is going to be the same thing. It's going to be basically like one logo. We're going to actually hard code a logo, if you will. Do that. And then on the right side, we're just going to have one link on the right side. But that one link we're going to put in another div. We're going to call landing right anchor, I guess. I don't know. And we're going to call that. This is going to be Facker public sign in. And we're just going to go like this. Okay. So that's our header. Our header is taken care of. Now, below the header in the HTML, we're going to have another landing body. And in order to indicate classes, it would be dot. That's kind of a JavaScript, Python. A lot of different programming languages other than PHP, when they want to reference functions within classes, they'll use dots. So it's kind of like that, but for IDs, it's the pound sign. And this ID is going to be carousel. And that's where our wallpaper is going to be. And within the carousel, we're going to say landing message, and we're going to go like this. Yeah, we'll do one on top, landing heading message, and that's going to be an H3, and it's going to say start your fucking sign up and start fucking blogging. It's free, you cheapo. Okay, so underneath that we're going to have another div. We're going to call it landing main button. We'll just call it that. I don't know. Something like that. You can call it whatever you want. And it'll be landing button. And in the anchor tag, it is going to be Facker public sign up. Create your flow. Okay. Now, when I wanted to do a couple of things I forgot to do here. Let me go to logo. This, I got to move to the logo A ref. So let's go like this, logo A. And what this is it's the class. It's referencing the class, and it's referencing the anchor tag in the class. That's what you do with CSS. You reference the class name, and then you have a space and you reference what's in that class, the li, the whatever. And I'm also going to put in here something I forgot. I think I forgot, right? Yeah, I totally forgot. Totally forgot. Main heading. and that will be font size. Again, that's your font size, obviously. Was it 25? I think I'm going to do 25. Well, we can change it. Font family. As you can see, everything kind of comes up on its own. I don't have to do anything with that. And the font family would be Roboto, Arial. The reason why you do the one in quotes, which is the one in quotes is referencing one of the families that we've brought in, that we imported from Google Fonts. Arial, Helvetica, Sans Serif is kind of, if the server or the browser that they're using can't read that font family, then it'll just default to Arial, Helvetica, Sans Serif, and then color, RGBA, and we'll do, I'll do, and we'll do text align center, and we'll do margin top, 20 pixels, margin bottom, because we're going to be doing that a lot, 20 pixels. Once more, REMs, EMs, whatever makes you happy. I use pixels. It just makes things add up by 1 pixel per as opposed to 8 or whatever. Okay, so now if I hit reload, hey look, it sucks. It's horrible. It's awful, right? No, we got to fix that. And I got to fix the logo too. So I think padding 15 is too much. Let's do padding 10. Again, CSS is basically trial and error. Now, if you hit refresh and nothing changes, then what you want to do is you want to kind of hit Control F5 because it didn't go through. So, yeah, it's still too much padding. Would it be 5? 5 be okay? Okay, I don't know. So I forget this. Text decoration. None. And I don't have a font size either. Font size. 30 pixels. I think padding, I think that would be okay. Let's see if it looks ridiculous, then we'll just change it. All right, that looks good. So you see, that's our logo right there. That, and then we have this. But if you look, it's all down here. It's all over the place. It doesn't look good. And I'm not going to shoot you because you don't look good. So let's go back to landing. Now we have to make another CSS page because I put in here landing CSS. The reason why I want to separate that from the main CSS for me is just the CSS that I'm going to utilize those classes throughout the course of the site. And I like to break up the other ones. As I've said, use as many folders and files as possible. So we'll just put a comment, landing page styling. And now we have, there's really not that much here, right? Just landing header, landing right. Really, you'd be surprised if you saw what was really going on with the HTML. Because you're going to, if you look at any of the source code, you'll see a million lines of crazy random shit. Most of it's JavaScript for the advertisements on the side and stuff. It's really not anything you would code. Okay, so why don't I take a look? Landing header. Okay, so the landing header is going to be the top bar. And now the one thing that I will do, we're going to say width is 100%. The one thing I will tell you is I'm going to give you this little bit of HTML, CSS 101, even though this is not really a tutorial. Padding 5. And, okay. With everything in HTML and CSS, it's one big box. So just think we make boxes here, okay? So what we are doing here is we're saying that the landing header is this one long box that's going to cover the entire top of the page. And within those boxes are those smaller boxes, the landing right and the landing left. Now with the divs, you can use something called display flex, and then from there you can go justify content, space between. So I kind of sing these things just to kind of keep them in your head. Justify content space between means that your two divs, the left and the right divs, are going to be a specific amount of width. So if the width of that main header box is going to be the size or the width of your page, those two boxes will then have the space between whatever's left over after this one and this one's width get calculated out. So you'll see what I mean. So when I do that, space between justify content landing header, we have those divs that are splitting it up. So the CSS server or the HTML server knows that, as you can see now, it's separated on each side, see? So the computer or the server knows when it sees justify content space between all that stuff and flex, it knows to kind of separate them based on their width. Now, they are on the complete opposite sides of the spectrum. We don't want that. So in order to kind of balance this out, we then go landing left, and I'm going to do no, actually we're not going to do comma. Landing left, we're going to say margin left, we'll go 10 pixels. And landing right. We'll go margin right, 10 pixels. If you have any questions, just leave them in the comments, please. I'm here to help you. So now we have another bit of styling. Now you could have made these two divs as well, but I made them unordered lists and list items. So in order to make them kind of split up, what we're going to do with that is we're going to go landing logo, and we want to get rid of any of those dots that usually come out with. They don't seem to have any here, but you never know. And that is list style none. And we're also going to do a display inline display. And now we're going to go landing logo LIA. That's the list item and the anchor tag. And we're going to go text decoration then. And then we're going to go landing logo. What did I call that? I called that FACR, right? Or FACR. I called that landing FACR. All right, so then we don't need that. The landing FACR A. And we're going to go color. Nah, we'll hold off on that for a second. We'll hold off on that for 1 second because I want you to actually see what we're doing. And then with that in tow, we're going to go landing right A, text decoration none. Oh yeah, I want to change the font family. Font family. Was it Verona? Or was it? No, I think it was Verona. Arial, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to go font size. I think it was 24. Something like that. And font family. Roboto. Whoops, not robot. Roboto. Arial, Helvetica, blah, 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 blah. Font size. This one was a little bit smaller. And we'll also do landing. Now, if you have two things that are similar, you can just separate them in commas. Like we're gonna have both of these hover in the same manner, and we're gonna get used to transition. Actually, first we're gonna say the color will be RGBA 0.9, and then we're gonna say the transition 3%. Sex, ease, we'll just do ease. Alright, so now we didn't give it a color yet because we're going to make them white. And we'll need the background, we'll need the wallpaper first. So if we go like this, as you can see, right, nice. Now why didn't that go? Boy, let me see. Display inline, landing, oh wait, hold on, was that, yeah, it was called landing logo. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I have to go like this. And there we go. Now, if you notice, our blue just became shit. I think I'm going to make that smaller, actually. I'll just do 20. And that padding we're going to need again. Everything on CSS is trial and error, folks. That's what it comes down to. So we're going to need that 15 padding again. That. There we go. All right, so it looks better, right? And then when we do that, we'll do that. When we do that, we do that. Okay? So we want to get this background now. And the way you do that is we're going to go. Oop, wrong one. Sorry. We're going to go, I call this landing body. Landing body. And landing body is going to be with 100%. It's going to be height of 1,000 pixels for me. And how do we do background image? it would be, wait, hold on. Let me check my notes. 1 second. Let me go back to, let me just double check. I should have done this before, I'm sorry, excuse me. Well, let me just see. I think it was pages, I think I put that in my notes. So it would be URL images, okay, so it's URL and then it's no repeat. Let's just keep that open for a sec. So it's URL, and I referenced it because we're in the same like folder location, so it's images landing, and we're going to start with Camilla, and we're going to say background repeat, no repeat, no repeat, and we're going to go position absolute. We want to make sure that it's absolute positioning. We're going to go top 0. All right? Because if you don't do that, then there's going to be this white space between. And, right, and that's all we need. So, with everything by default in CSS and HTML, it's position, well, it's CSS, it's position relative, which means that it relates to whatever each other area is. So if we had that, we have that header that we said was 40 pixels high. If we were to keep this body relative in positioning, then what would happen is it would say, oh, how you doing, header? I'm going to just kind of hang out here, okay? Right beneath you. And we'd have this white space on top. We don't want that. We want everything to be the background image. So we say position absolute for the landing body. This way, no matter what we do with everything else, the background is going to be exactly where it needs to be. So it's going to take up the entire screen no matter what. No matter where we put the headers or wherever, the background image is going to stay right there. It's not going to move. That's position absolute. So as you can see, it's 1,000. Oh, there she is. As you can see, it's 1,000 height. It's the full length. It's not repeating. And that's that. But where's our header? It's gone. And this stupid thing is there. And that's supposed to be down the middle. What's going on here, Bookman? You suck at this. Well, when I come back, because this is getting a little long and I want to eat a snack, I'm kind of hungry. When I come back, we are going to actually take care of the overall styling. We're going to finish the landing page, and we might even start doing actual pages like the sign in, sign up. So I will see you in just a second.